Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Not even going to talk about the entire Survivor Series card. Me and Felix want to do that on Monday and everything. But oh my gosh, you know, you can't look at that. Look at that, goosebumps, right? Chills. Um, you can't. I figured CM Punk would be back eventually, but I never thought he'd be back actually tonight. Because Triple H likes to do the opposite normally and do it at a random time or just a random place or just somewhere else in a hometown. So that right there, um, I was, I was shocked, goosebumps. It's still hard to, how do you explain it? It's still hard to even talk about it without trying to figure out words because he was gone for 9 years. The end of that relationship, even though there was some of Triple H, but it was mostly Vince. It's just the way it ended, and now he's back and everything. And I think this is where he truly wanted to be. Now the backfire of it, Seth, even if he played it off or not, did not look happy. If you've seen the videos, Drew McIntyre looks like he stormed off an arena. I don't know. But Triple H will get them all in a meeting and they're going to act like professionals. It's just how it is. Seth will do work with CM Punk whenever that is. WrestleMania. I don't know who knows what they even got for him, but uh, uh yeah, it's kind of undercutting Randy coming back and everything. I'm not gonna lie, it does. It does undercut Randy coming back, but I mean, look at the reaction Randy had and everything. Like the reaction Randy had, and just overall in general, I don't think it really undercutted him returning a little bit. Because I mean, what would have undercut him is if they had Punk come out as the partner and everything. To me, but I don't know. It's quite insane to see him back. I'm not gonna lie, but because no, never, hardly ever get shocked with anything. But when my chin's dropped and everything, oh my gosh, not the biggest CM Punk fan, but like when I'm like that and it's a shocked face and everything, that does not happen often with me, never. So, but CM Punk's back, man. I don't know what they do, but at this point, I do not care. But I will say I should have knew when Triple H, if there's not a surprise or anything, they get they say their goodbyes and then do the copyright on the bottom right, with the logo and all that, and then boom, they're done. When it kept on going and they zoomed out, I should have knew. At that point, everyone should have knew something was going to happen. But ooh, do you see him going down the road with AJ Styles? I don't know. I don't know what AJ's doing. I don't know if AJ's hurt or whatnot. I don't know. But that I do not know. But you got so much possibilities, but I think Seth. I think Seth is going to be the one that he goes down the road with. Kind of sucks because Gunther should be in the world championship picture, and I think with Punk returning, I think that's going to stop. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But I was just going to get on here real quick, so now I can eat something. Try to go to bed. I don't know if I will. I'll probably be watching his return, just like everybody else will be. Last time I saw on Twitter with WWE's account, I think it had over 100,000 likes and like 50,000 likes. And it's been an hour now. That's insane. That's insane. But yeah. But Monday, 4 times. I'm surprised it's only 4 times. Only 4 times. Gotta do better, Summer. But yeah, man. Monday I'll talk about it more with Felix on the podcast. And talk about the show overall more on Monday. So I'll leave it to that, and then we'll talk about it. I said he would be back. I said CM Punk would be back. I honestly didn't think it was going to be tonight. Yeah, Josh, I am. I think all of us are still in shock, but to me, I knew he was coming back as soon as he got the boot from AEW and everything. I knew he was coming back because he might not have came back if Vince was still involved more. Who knows? But with Triple H will literally talk to anybody and try to mend whatever they got. Triple H is that type of person. He's for the business aspect. And we'll see if he can get all the superstars that were iffy about Punk even coming. See if they can get them back on track and be like, hey. But I think in Drew McIntyre's case, if he was actually mad about this, I think it's because he hasn't been able to get a contract from them yet. So, yeah, I do not think so either. I do not think so either. But but who knows? You just never know. Honestly, I always say never. That's literally one of my things I say, and that's what they said in their tweet when Punk returned. I just wonder how Vince is taking this all in. I don't know if he was even watching the pay-per-view. I know he probably was, but he probably looked. He's probably watching it and was like, "Oh no, I've got to call Triple H up." I guarantee you, Triple H saw that and put him to voicemail really big. I don't want to jump on it. Hold on. Maybe I don't know, Josh. I don't know if this link to get your email, and it will work like that. But I sent it in the group message, Josh, so I don't know. Oh yeah, Vince was definitely heated. You know he was. He gonna try to get back in the company as much as he wants to now. But it's completely insane that Mr. Punk is back. Mr. Punk. CM Punk. I'm gonna see if Josh can join from that. I don't know if he will be able to. If not, then but if he can, then I'll stay on for another 5-10 minutes after that. But I'm not going to stay on much more because that's the only thing I'm really talking about tonight. I'm not going to talk about the show. Okay. I think it's adding him, so we get it.
What's happening, dude? Bro, like, I had to jump on here, obviously, because there's no, what do you call it, three-way, so, bro, Phil CM Punk Brooks is back in the World Wrestling Entertainment.
That's
like,
correct.
Deep that for a second. Deep that, like, everybody and you, TK. Literally, I swore myself I'd never come back to YouTube. This is the only time.
Hey, I'm honored to even see you. Even
my headphones just died. Sorry.
No, you good. I'm honored that you even came on because I know you don't really be doing YouTube anymore at all. So
no.
This
is the first and last time. And TK's got the exclusive. There you go.
Yeah.
But no, I'm literally. I won't even lie to you. I've been in literally nothing in. I don't know how to convert it in Fahrenheit than shorts and nothing else. And I've literally put this on to come on here because obviously we won today and I'm buzzing. Liverpool got a draw, by the way. Well done.
Yeah.
That's the only praise I'm giving you, by the way, because I'll bust Felix's balls some other time. But no, wow. I've just heard literally the deal wasn't even signed this morning.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like it was always signed, and look, I hope, I really do hope they bring back this of the secret signings or returns or stuff like that.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Do. Look, I get their dirt sheets and all those sites got to get their stuff in. I get that. But some stuff like this, I am so glad it wasn't.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, if you can fool people like, not to try and name names, but I'm going to, so I'm contradicting myself. Fooling people like SRS, like legitimate, reporters who are, have been doing this for God knows how long, and you can pull the wool over their eyes. And basically, I'm going to say the reason why I said CM Punk was never coming back was because mainly him and reputable sources around him, not people on Twitter. Sorry, yes, I still call it Twitter because I'm not going to get into that right now. But
it'll be always Twitter.
Yeah, that's not the point. But I just wanted to clarify that because people get up in arms, even still calling it Twitter. But I'm not gonna say my opinion on it here because I'll get you and I both cancelled. But no, in all seriousness, it brings back an era. Like, obviously, this is eons ago, which I don't know whether you were watching at the time, and I barely was because I was a wee kid. But I hearken this back to even as far as Paul White coming into the WWF in '99. You knew he was leaving WCW and going, but then the initial shock of it at the time. But then this is up to 11 than that, but that is a similar feeling as well. To keep it that secret for this long, well, not this long even, because the contact only allegedly started this week, so, and only an hour phone call. The only thing that worries me about this, which hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, that it's all a storyline with the raging in the ring that wasn't even on camera. I hope that's not true, or obviously there's got to be real elements to a story to make it good, right? Yeah. So hopefully that's the case, and we get a program with both. Maybe it's the fact that in the Drew case, because it's coming out with Drew that he's been a bit wafty. I don't know. Again, that could be.
I said this. I think with Drew's thing, I think he's mad because they're still in contract negotiations, So
To be on it, yeah, and
I think
it's only because WWE are lowballing him.
I think that's why he had his outburst. If that was true, I think that's
Maybe do you know what? I hope that's the case because then, hopefully this will spur WWE to. Well, obviously, they're splashing the cash with Punk. We don't know what the deal is, and do you know what? I don't want to know numbers because
yeah,
that's none of our business. At least in my opinion. But what I want to know is the story. Why is Punk there? What is going to happen? Because that's all we should really care about. We shouldn't care about how much TKO made from doing this pay per view. No one should care about, hopefully there's no backstage fight. We do want to care. We do care about that because, we want everything to be handshakes and kumbaya. But, wrestling's not like that. Wrestling is a sport that's been macho since the 1950s, 1940s, even further back. So there is going to be something like that. But I just hope that Triple H can navigate this in a way
yeah,
where
mhm.
I think he can.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
well when they panned out, did you think something was going to happen? Because
I had an inkling, but I still went, no, no way. And then I heard the, and then I instantly flipped my lid. Again, I'm trying to be, trying to. I know you can swear on this channel, but trying to keep you monetized. You're welcome. But I know the current YouTube landscape. Even though I'm not in it, I still know it. But I flipped my lid, and I had personal friends. I had you. I had Felix. I had messaging me like, what the F was going on? How is this happening? Because it is a true legit what the F moment that
yeah,
if they still had the slammies, give it to that immediately. I know
oh
the
yeah,
slammies is not legit, but if there was a legit like ESPN or Fox or TNT Sports, obviously, because that's where which is so weird. If you think about it, right? Deep's this. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes are on WWE on TNT Sports in the UK, whereas TNT in America hosts AEW, where these people were formerly employed.
yeah.
How mad is that? And obviously, TNT Sports getting themselves in trouble again when posting CM Punk is all WWE, which I put in the chat, but that's just me going funny, ha ha. That's an official company putting out a statement like that. I wouldn't want to be in legal meetings for that one because that could cost a little bit of money. But hopefully it doesn't. It's a bit of banter. But no, again, to be fair, no one. Again, people have said online, and I tend to agree with it now. Maybe because it's happened, it's recency biased. But that was a great show anyway. I missed
Yeah,
the women's war games match. Sorry, because I was asleep. But and I've got to go out in a few hours tomorrow, so I might have to have a few one of the old Pepskis. Oh, Pepsi. Well, Pepsi Max because that normal stuff hurts my throat. But you know, again, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, he's there in Nashville, obviously near you for Raw, because
I
that will
I
be
hope he is, but to me, you can't show him at the end of the show and not have him show up on Monday.
no, no. What I would be interested in terms of business numbers, how are those shirts selling? Is he gonna? Because I
Oh
think if you're LA Knight, you're gonna be like, oh, maybe my run at the top is gonna win. Or
yeah,
Roman, well,
I,
Roman, I think will keep there. I think they will keep there, but Phil Brooks is going to be like 2 T-shirts. I'm surprised. Do you know what? Actually, I'm surprised he didn't do any more. I'm surprised they only done 2 shirts.
I think they're just going to see how it how fast it sells,
Mm,
and then they'll release another one. There's no way because they're
yeah,
only releasing Survivor Series ones right now. He's
yeah.
got to have one.
That's what disappointed me because I did say to you I was going to buy them and then I looked at the shirt. Oh, there's the show logo and they have started doing that recently, but just putting either the WWE logo or the show logo on things and yeah, that's not my cup of tea because well, especially like mind you, the last Punk shirt I bought was the one he came back in 2011. So I can't, and I will. I probably. I'm a consumer. We're all consumer. We buy into this capitalism stuff, and we'll buy the shirts,
Oh
and
yeah.
they'll sell They'll sell them all in Nashville on Raw,
Oh
wherever whatever brand he's on, right? So again, we shouldn't. Again, I'm I'm basically chewing my
Oh,
own, basically throwing my own statements out the window and caring about business. But
yeah.
that again, wow, that's the main adjective or whatever the word is. I'm not good at my English, even though I am English. But the main statement is, wow, if you're a Punk fan, if you're a WWE fan, this is good business. And do you know what? In a way, for AEW, it's good business as well, because in their case, they're getting rid of someone who was a problem for them, But yes, you're losing ratings, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, it was good that if they have a better locker room feel,
Mm,
but to me, that's the only thing.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
be a straight buck with you with that, because to me, like, it's a good thing they have probably signed MJF for good, because they need to. If
yeah, absolutely.
I would
He's,
never
he's,
want,
he literally won't. No word of lie. There's two people that made me want to support that company: Cody Rhodes and Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Mhm.
That's it. So one of them's out the door in the other company, which again baffles my mind. The fact that Cody Rhodes and CM Punk wasn't a part of the formation of the company, but especially in Cody's case, are in the company that is billions of dollars, TKO, UFC, you know, and even though Triple H on the Pro Scrum, which you've probably seen already, and people in the chat have probably seen, but he said that TKO's staff weren't made aware of it either. That that baffled me when I heard that. I was like, well, would
So,
at least tell Ari, because Ari would, Ari has dealt with Punk before in negotiations in terms of UFC. Yes, his UFC career was pants. Let's not sugarcoat it.
yeah,
That is probably sugarcoating it a little bit. It was rubbish. He lost all of his fights, and me being a UFC fan, it was gutting. Even though he blocked me on Twitter for basically saying he'd never come back to even wrestling. That was my bad, because I'm eating crow right now, a whole bowl of it. I haven't got a bowl here, but I'm eating crow. As I've told you, I was, again, I'm still in shock. But anyway, I would have thought he would have told Ari, because then because they were asking CM Punk questions to Ari, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but they're definitely asking questions to Nick Khan. And I think the statement that Triple H apparently said, when I heard it, because I only heard it earlier, and it was like he changed his wording that he had no comment on the situation, where they were instantly denying it first. Then you raise eyebrows.
yeah,
That is like, okay, something might be happening here. Do you know what? Obviously, the Survivor Series moment happened, and it was the right move because it's happened. But I'm trying to think, would it have been better to do it at the Rumble? I know it's me putting on the cynical hat here, but you would have had a bigger crowd, you would have had a bigger reaction, maybe in terms of volume of people, not volume of noise. And having him at number 30, I think would have been a more impactful thing. I wouldn't have had him win it though. I would have I would have had him been eliminated by the winner, who I believe would be Gunther.
yeah.
But
I
sorry,
think
I need to let you talk because this is your channel. Sorry.
no. You good? I think it's. I think when we look back on it, and there's a lot of stuff with Triple H, you don't question, but you question if it was the right moment
Mm,
or the right thing. And then we happen to most of the time look back and be like, "Damn, he did good."
yeah,
So I'm gonna let it sit. Royal Rumble to me seemed like a more impactful. I agree with that, but
mm,
to me, if he was to debut instead at the Royal Rumble than tonight, for me, I feel like he would have to win it. That's how I feel, kind of.
actually, yeah, you're right.
That's how I kind
But
of feel
then you're
about that.
saying that how I viewed it is it could see as a positive for him not to win it, because then he's putting somebody over at the. I know obviously he's not going to be putting everybody over. I'd like to see him put some people over to, because he's an older guy. Let's be honest, and the business is full of younger guys like, say, the Damien Priest of the world, the Dominic Mysterio. Although I wouldn't mind him beating Dominic, but I'm not going to go into that right now. And then Joe, I thought of something for WrestleMania if he doesn't have a world title match that I want to run by this chat and you. CM Punk in a mixed tag team match with AJ Lee versus Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. If she's not the women's champion, if she loses it at Rumble.
Yeah, I don't think Rhea's losing that title anytime soon.
Maybe.
That's
the only problem is I don't see who she loses it to at the moment, other than Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I don't know who she loses it to, but I think her reign goes past WrestleMania. I really do. Yes.
Interesting.
To
be honest, I'm going to get flack for this, but I think it's running stale already.
Yeah, and I don't think it's been her fault though.
No, absolutely not. She is literally the best women's wrestler, one of the best women's wrestlers they have. I think it's her. I think potentially people are gonna give me flack for this. Jade Cargill could get there. I don't know what's taking so long. Maybe they are saving her for the Rumble, but I think her, Jade Cargill. I think I can throw in one there that is underused at the moment. Is Candice LeRae. I think she's one of the best wrestlers they got, but they're just not giving her a good creative, in my opinion.
No,
and I think it would have been worse under Vince. She wouldn't have been used under Vince, in my opinion. So at least she's getting something. But I think what's hampering most of the women in that company is the women's tag team championships. Unfortunately, I think the women's division would benefit from a women's IC or a women's women's United States. Doesn't make any sense to me. But
me and Felix have talked about that several times on the podcast. I've
heard a lot of it. Yeah.
Get rid of the women's tag team titles because it seems like every time someone's a new champion, someone gets hurt, and I hope that changes if they keep the titles, but like for me, get a mid card championship in there. I don't know what the hell you call it. It don't really matter.
Yeah, as I say, it's a conundrum because women's Intercontinental is long, but in women's United States doesn't make sense to me. In a way, would you create a new name?
I would just create a new name for it. I don't think it to be. I think it needs to be.
Yeah, like you say, like you're right because the current main roster main belts have got different names, which I obviously prefer. And well, actually, this is a side note. What title design do you prefer? Because there's a clear winner in this in terms of both men's and women's. They're both the same, just with white and black straps.
What title I like the best? Is that basically saying?
Yeah, because both divisions are the same designs, aren't they? With men's and women's, just different coloured straps.
Yeah,
because mine is the one that Seth's got and one that Rhea's got.
I'm not even going to go with the world title. I like the Intercontinental Championship the most right now.
That's a controversial opinion. I agree, but people don't like that because people hung on to that white IC design. But obviously, again, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Strap wouldn't look good with Gunther. It wouldn't fit Gunther at all.
No. Joe, what? Actually, hybrid black strap with that design, like the old, like I call it the Mr. Perfect design because that's how I remember it, or the Macho Man Randy Savage, or the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I would think that would be the best on Gunther, but they've obviously got to put slap that network logo on the belt, and it's got to be large, it's got to be big, But that's what it is. It is what it is. UFC do the same thing now, so it would have happened eventually under TKO.
All companies that have belts, or if it's MMA, wrestling, they always gotta have that logo in front.
Of course,
it don't matter. It don't matter what company it is. I mean,
as long as you're not a spinner belt.
Yeah, nah.
And I have to hold my hands up. I owned one because I was a silly kid and didn't know what belts were at the time. The plastic ones, it was cheap.
Hey, I had a replica of one, so I was over here Hey, I ain't gonna lie. As a kid, I liked it.
Yeah, as a kid. Well, mind you, I don't know if you know this, but the plastic one actually had a magnet to stop the actual WB. It was actually put it in the right position, which actually makes it less fun because you know it's going to stop.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting off topic. But
Oh.
yeah, I always bring it to belts because I'm a belt guy. Obviously, I talk to it in the chat.
Hey, yeah.
And
I'm a belt guy too. I just never have gotten a belt before, but that's probably something that a purchase of mine that I will be getting.
maybe a world heavyweight if they release punk plates to put on that.
Yeah, it could be, but
Well, I've already got. Well, mind you, I've spent too much money on belts. This is my problem. I need to. I need to rein myself in. I'm almost thinking about ordering the new Seth one, but I'm reining myself in because I've got stuff to spend on other than that and important stuff. So, but back to Punk.
how many times have you watched the video?
On the network twice, on the YouTube video about 4 times. I've listened to the song on loop about 3 times. Because the only thing I'm going to say about the return that's negative, one of the things, he didn't come out to Killswitch Engage. I do prefer that song. And I know that WWE have a license for it because it's on their Reckless Intent CD. I'm basically plugging their CDs now. Company shield. You wouldn't have thought that years ago when I was doing podcasts. Not that you should watch them because they're very bad. But, you know, that is the only thing I would have changed. Because that song, to me, is Punk. Obviously, cult of personality. He's used that in Ring of Honor. He used that in WWE. He's used that in AEW. So, obviously, it was going to be that. But if I changed one thing, it would be the Fire Burns played by Killswitch Engage. And it'd be funny because of what happened on AEW this week, calling Luchasaurus Killswitch. That's
Yeah.
why I also wanted to do it to give another balls you to AEW. So,
Hey, Malachi Black must have knew CM Punk was going to WWE.
yeah, he must have told him, or
Because
he,
he name dropped Punk tonight on Collision, and I'm like,
yeah.
it's
And I
kind
only watched that clip. I actually just cancelled my AW Plus a few weeks ago because I couldn't afford it. So yeah, I did see that, and I was like, that was the first thing that put up like the Rock's eyebrow, if you will, the proverbial Rock's eyebrow. And that was it was like the mentioning on AW. Actually, let me rephrase that because that was one of the things that I thought it made it won't. It means it wouldn't happen. Because why would they mention Punk on AEW when he's been excommunicated and fired personally by Tony Khan for allegedly backstage fights legit and allegedly threatening his life, according to him? Again, you can only take that as hearsay because Wembley footage will never come out. That's my prediction because that would look both, mind you, could it be released because of this WWE return? That's a controversial take, but could someone, maybe not from AEW, maybe from a publication that has the video, the police departments that have the I can't, Brent Police could accent on authorization of AEW. Again, this is wild speculation. We shouldn't be speculating on this because it's a serious matter. But CM Punk, Phil Brooks is back in the WWE, and again, something I never can't scream because it's literally nearly 6 o'clock in the morning for 5:30. So I would never, ever, and again, as I've told you, told many other people, I thought I'd never see this day, and we have. And
hey, look, I do a lot of crazy and stupid bold predictions, and on the podcast, I said Punk was going to return. For some reason, this time I really had a very good feeling. For some odd reason, he was going to return. I didn't know which way or
you
what.
got to put lottery numbers up, man. Whatever lottery is in your country, I can't.
I need to.
But don't gamble, kids. It's not good for you.
Yeah,
It's not good for you.
I would never, but I've done shorts on bets before, so I can't.
Yeah, but I'm talking about people that can't control them. Hold it though.
Yeah.
That's the danger. I'm only putting that disclaimer out there because I personally wouldn't bet because I know some. Do you know what though? saying that it feels like a mugs game. But then when you've got something right, say I predict a score right in the football, or say something. Well, mind you, betting on wrestling is also a bigger mugs game because it's both predictable, more predictable, more volatile. I don't think you can even bet on wrestling in America, can you? You can in England. Why? I don't know. I think it's stupid. But
I don't know. I think you can on some sites, not the main ones that we have.
isn't not to. I don't actually no. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to give them any free publicity because they're not paying me any money. But there is one website that's green. I'm going to say that has the same initials as Donkey Kong. Read that what you will. They have a partnership with WWE or something, don't they? And AEW.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
the rare instances a company works with both.
I don't think I've seen a. I mean, they might work with AEW, but
They do. They literally, because I've watched the recent pay per view. They literally have like one of their. I'm going to say the name DraftKings, and then they did a promo I think with Daddy Magic, who is and basically who was 2.0 in WWE. So they did a big like literally like a minute promo with them, like text the code AEW to whatever number it was. Like it was a big promotion. Like what WWE do. They do this with WWE as well. This
yeah,
is what makes it mad. The fact that, again, completely off topic, but bear with us. We digress. They do work with both companies, which is odd. Mind you, one calls them DraftKings and one calls them DraftKings Sportsbook. I don't know whether there's the difference between that, but again, I shouldn't be saying their names. I'm giving them
yeah.
free publicity.
There is a
Gamble responsibly, people.
yeah.
That's the slogan here.
There is a
So,
difference. To explain it just a little bit, sports books you can bet like on the games and player props and stuff like that, and then
okay.
they have a thing called their DK fantasy, which is you pick these players and try to beat out people and stuff like that with stuff like that. It's simple.
It's basically like fantasy Premier League, but with a money aspect to it.
Yes, yes,
I'm
but
crap at that, so I would I only know the New Orleans Saints. That's the only NFL stadium I've ever been to in my life, and that's the only reason I support them. If I went to say the Tampa Bay Bucks, I'd support them. This is going to get me heat from Americans, but I'm sorry, I'm English. I don't really. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the ones that are the biggest team in England because Tony Khan owns them, and he owns Fulham, who are a team that I'm not very fond of because they're London side. London. Anyway, had to put get the badge in. It's not Stone Island. Anyway, but yeah, it's a yeah. NFL to me is they throw a ball, they touch it. It's basically softer rugby. Again, that's my.
well,
Again, this is a full TK podcast at this point.
no. Hey, I will say this. Rugby, man. Hey, whoever does rugby, salute to them because hey,
Yeah,
that's rough. That's rough.
I'm not personally a fan of rugby because it is that tough. Obviously, not wearing head guards, not even wearing shoulder pads. They're literally going in there with obviously the Rugby World Cup just happened, an England top, and bleeding out her nose, even ears sometimes. It's like you think you look at a person and if you put a PNG picture, you think they were fighting in UFC and they just put an England top on afterwards or boxing.
Yeah, that
It's rough, but anyway,
I-
sorry
it's
to
crazy.
go back to the topic.
But just
Um,
overall,
go
and
on.
I think with anything he's going to do, I think it's going to be very must see,
Oh, of
especially
course.
him back in the company that a lot of people thought he would never come back. Now,
Oh,
that,
actually, sorry to also put this point across. There is another reason why there would have been a possible return that would have been nixed in because the doctor that either sued him or he sued is no longer in the company. So that's another factor of how was
mm,
going to work.
that is right.
Dr. Chris Aman is no longer with WWE. So if if he still would have been there, it might have been no, sorry, F you, I'm going the other way because he's still employed. He sued me or I sued him. We lost loads of money and it obviously broke the relationship, if the relationship was apparently broken before, of Colt Cabana and CM Punk. How, again, you can listen to that podcast now with Colt Cabana and CM Punk, not laugh, because obviously it's serious stuff he was talking about, but and go, how the hell is this turned around 360, brother, F Hulk Hogan. But you know, this some B word has turned right around, and he's walked out into Allstate Arena, into 17,000 people with not one ticket being sold because he was going to be there. In my opinion, because he was never advertised. He was never discreetly by the World Wrestling Entertainment and TKO Group Holdings. He was going to be there.
So the crazy thing to me is I don't like talking about, ticket sales and all that,
Yeah,
but WWE has done a hell of a job with ticket sales in
they're
the
hot.
last.
They're absolutely on fire right now. And to be honest, do they even need CM Punk in terms of ticket sales? No,
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 they don't.
they're
But
hot.
but the crazy thing is, it's just going to bring more eyes to the product that
Oh yeah,
if they weren't tuning in, now they
they
will.
literally they've got a viewer out of me. I was not. I was literally, as I've told you, I'm going to admit it. I was going to skip the show. What an arse I would have been if I did that. I would have missed the biggest moment in 20 years, in my opinion. But in the sense of, not only does it make Raw must see TV for everyone but an AEW fan, obviously, because they're on Twitter and they're saying what they're saying. Not going to mean, because I don't want to name any names, I don't really know any of them. But you've got people people are also going to. Let's be honest, people are going to tune in to CM Punk, see him fail, as well as people that want to see him succeed in creatively, in terms of personally, and in terms of why did I say? Oh, Yusuf. But there's going to be people on all sorts of the spectrum. We're going to tune into Monday Night Raw if he's going to be there, or SmackDown. I was thinking it was SmackDown Live, then it hasn't been that since 2019. Tuning into SmackDown, or it's going to be an interesting thing to see where he does go in terms of the shows.
I will throw this out here, and I think it's going to make this should make more sense for Cody's moving over for Roman eventually. I think they're going to feel more comfortable with Cody going to SmackDown on somehow, some way, with just going over there, because CM.
I don't even think they're going to do that, to be honest with you. I'm that skeptical. I think they're just going to have him win Elimination Chambers, like he's getting the belt and then they'll do the switch off if he wins the belt afterwards. I
Yeah,
think they're just going to do that.
yeah.
I don't agree with it.
I
I
think
think that's what they're going to do.
wait. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how they're going to do the switch, but eventually they're going to.
I hope so. So if
So,
they keep the belt on Roman a further, I love Roman Reigns' character. I think it's the best thing that WWE have done from Vince onwards, because this, let's be honest, this has not been all Triple H. Some of the good stuff has been during Vince's era.
I
I don't
agree.
like to praise the man because the man is very deplorable in multiple areas. And we're all human, I know, but Vince is another type of thing. And I don't really want to talk about him because he can, please stay away, as we've all said, both in chat and in person, in whatever. But again, I've lost. Yeah, Roman. So from Vince onwards, he's had some of the best creative in professional wrestling, not just WWE, not just AEW, not just New Japan Pro Wrestling. Period in pro wrestling. Roman Reigns and his bloodline has had some of the best creative in wrestling, in my opinion. And maybe I don't know whether that's agreed or not. To be honest, don't care. If you agree with me, fantastic. If you don't, fine. But what Roman has had the best creative. That doesn't mean he's had some flubs. And I do believe that WrestleMania this year, or it feels like last year now, because we've had so much of it, and this has just happened today. It feels like 20 years has gone by in like 5 seconds.
Agreed.
WrestleMania this year was a flub. I think Cody Rhodes should have beaten him for the belt, and there would have been a new storyline arc that could have been hooked on from there. It could have been.
I'll say this: I still agree with the decision they made.
But
I'll still live by it. And normally I would not. Normally I would not. That's really not my type of tea. So if I'm agreeing with what they did, for me, when he actually wins it this time, and he will, it's just going to feel more for me, and it's not going to be for everybody. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be for everybody. For me, it's just going to feel more. Damn, he's made it. Not saying he hasn't made it, but he's made it. He won the big one, and he finally won the damn championship that his dad
mm,
did. So I
mm,
think for me, I think it's going to feel more like
yeah. And
he.
Joe, what? Obviously, I know that Dusty's has unfortunately been passed for a long time. But that's something that you just wish when hopefully that happens again. Fingers crossed, both of them. That Dusty be there to see it, and I will be watching up there. I know that's a cliche, but that is true because I'm not religious, but I do believe people are watching from somewhere. That Dusty would be there personally to hug his kid and raise his arm because that would be the best moment of Mania, one of the best moments in Mania history, along with Elizabeth and Savage getting together, stuff like that sort of emotion, because that that is what pro wrestling is built on. It's built on emotion, like what happened tonight and what hopefully will happen at WrestleMania next year at 40 in Philadelphia. Don't ask me what stadium it's in because I've got no idea.
I
Um,
don't even know what stadium it is. So
I know it's outside. So if it's going to be snowing or raining, it's going to be an interesting Mania, like Orlando was when it rained. But mind you, Mania in London, you'd expecting rain, snow, sleet. Mind you, would they do a WrestleMania in London now that AEW call up Wembley home? But that's none the wiser. But Wembley's it's not the greatest of stadiums for pro wrestling. The new Wembley, the one that they have now, not the one with the towers and all that stuff. The best version of Wembley. But again, in regards to this WrestleMania coming up, Cody holding the belt up with the pyrotechnics, obviously because Cody has the best pyrotechnics in the company, period.
Mhm.
And I'm a fan of pyrotechnics in the terms of in a WWE sense, because mind you, they're the best the company doing pyro. AEWs have always stunk because they don't spend money on that thing. So, but with that moment happening, and then the new inkling of some acceptance to that for Mania alone, like we all said, CM Punk being at WrestleMania, probably main event in night one. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably.
Go on. Sorry, you was about to speak. Oh,
No, no.
go on.
Yeah, it'll probably be like that. But talking about what Yusuf said, he said the Bloodline storyline hasn't been good enough since Mania for it to be the right decision. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that statement a little bit, but I
Mm.
still think the decision was the right decision. But with your statement, I do agree with that very hardly. But it's like, damn, how much more can you do of the storyline? Fellas, we're not in the third inning. We're in the damn bottom of the ninth now, okay?
That again, MLB references passed my head by, but when Paul Heyman said it, I'm like, is that? I've watched a couple of London games because it's at London Stadium. That's it. So when I heard of bottom of the third, I'm like, huh? American sports, like when American, like, I don't know whether you realise when American references are said on wrestling, we're like, for F's sake, what? Why do we want to
Look,
know?
you have
Because
to
WWE is more than just America,
yeah,
and
you
this is more of a Vince directive. They've done it a lot less since we appreciate that. That is something that is worth mentioning because it's something that pees off a lot of international pro wrestling fans. They shoehorned in American sports references like MLB or the Dodgers suck this year or the New England Patriots. Well, mind you, I know they suck. But and again, I only watch New Orleans Saints games, and I know they suck. apparently. And the fake gate I found hilarious at the time. But yeah, American sports references in pro wrestling is, and obviously, if Punk was given a mic tonight, which obviously there was no time for that, to go back to Punk for a sidebar. Chicago Cubs, how good are they? Hey! So, I don't. Well, how would I know? Because what I think WWE are realizing, and hopefully will more realize in the future, they're not just playing to the Americans. They're playing to the UK. They're playing to India. They're playing to Germany. I don't know whether Russia have got WWE back yet, because obviously they not mentioning anything about that. But they are worldwide. It's like me going on WWE. If I was, say, I was William Regal and I was going, Liverpool, obviously a worldwide team, so everyone knows him. West Ham did good, eh? No one would care. Well, mind you, West Ham are a bit more known now because the West Ham are on Ted Lasso. No, Grayson Waller. I don't want to mention anything. Waller's good in his tag team. Waller's good. Theory is theory. All I'm going to say about that. Not a fan of Theory. Not his wrestling's good, ish, but maybe it's creative that's if I can speak, get the words out.
You can tell when he's gotten some power with stuff that he's done, he does it very, very, very good. So I think it's more of the creative side, but
of course,
but not to cut anybody off or anything. But I don't have my phone charger, and I'm at.
Sorry, yeah, I've got put. You said you was only going to do 10 minutes. I apologise.
No. You good? I am fine with that, but I am at 3% now. So
this is what I had my to break the fourth wall. I had my charger. I've had my charger plugged in since about 6 o'clock this evening. So I was always at 100%. But fair enough. But yeah, no, definitely, I've kept you on too long. But I thought I'd come back to celebrate that Philip CM Punk Brooks is back in the World Wrestling again. Trying not to say Federation because it hasn't been that for 20 years. Entertainment.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to not say it when you're talking about stuff. So,
well, take from me, who as a kid was showing the finger. I'm not going to actually show the finger because, again, monetization. And swigging a beer and seeing the things you shouldn't have been seeing at that age.
Yeah.
This area. But no, CM Punk is back and it proves anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah,
anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
But for me, this is the defining moment of definitely saying of never say never, like they tweeted out. But that's something I like to say. I always say never, but this right here, this proves it all tonight.
100%.
Proves it all tonight. That's all I'm going to say. Hope you guys have a great night, morning, wherever the hell you might be and everything. Me and Felix, Monday, we're going to do the podcast. We're going to talk about the entire show and everything. And I can't wait for it. Hope you guys have a great one, and peace out, y'all.
Come on, ones.